Another winning day. That makes it for the last 5 days winning days now. 3 straight coming out of the weekend. John, weren't with us yesterday. Welcome back. It's a good thing we didn't sweep yesterday, John, because we're a little superstitious. That would have been a bad thing to have to repeat in order for the sweep.
But a winner almost didn't show up to work today. I made my bets early yesterday, and then you guys saw Ben carried the show yesterday. But yeah, I'm back. We split 4 games yesterday, and I'll sign on a dotted line for a split every day. If we go 50%, we are actually going to destroy the rest of the year. But a nice split. Brewers plus 160 against Verlander. These, some of these guys that I say it's in name only, and we'll talk about a couple of pitchers that we're betting against today that are just that price in name only. Verlander did a great job. He shut the Brewers out for 5 innings. There's 9 innings in a game. Now, look, I get it. It's not the 60s and the 70s anymore, and nobody completes games anymore. But you got to give me more than 5 innings if you're going to be $1.75, $1.80 favorite for a team that's lost 15 of 20 games. So plus 160 there, plus 180 with the Tigers. Some of the lines just outrageous, and they are today again. We'll be on a bunch of big dogs again today. So plus 180 with a Tiger team yesterday that we couldn't have got a worse break. Boyd only gets 2 outs before he leaves with an injury. Will Vest comes on in relief. He gets injured after an inning. So we're into the back of the bullpen already into the second inning. But the bats stay active for Detroit. And we come away with a nice 180 win there. We were fighting. I thought it was going to be a huge night. 3-1, we had a lead with the Nationals, but that was short-lived. We'll come back with the Nationals today, so stay tuned for that. And then we had the Twins was our loser against the Braves. We bet that early. That game went against us. We had both Buxton and Royce Lewis sitting out for us. Only came away with 1 run. But again, I'll sign on a dotted line for a split any day. 1 unit apiece, and we walk away plus 1.4 units. I'll take that. And here we go. Let's do this today.
Yep, getting going, guys. Nice little card coming today, heating up. So hopefully it stays that way. Real quick, if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, comment below. Appreciate you guys tuning in every day. So first game on the card, we have the Padres and the Pirates. Both teams playing bad right now. You have Pittsburgh, who's just 1-12 the last 13. Padres have lost 5 of 7. Neither team's really hitting right now. Pirates just 152 this week. Darvish versus Hill. Darvish has been getting roughed up his last few starts on the road. He has a 6+ ERA. Rich Hill, he's been getting roughed up his last 2 starts, 9 runs and 10 2/3. 2 teams not hitting, 2 pitchers not pitching well. Really don't want to be backing a 1-12 Pirates team, but it's a big number. Padres aren't too far away from what this Pirates team's been looking like lately.
Yeah, we just talked about betting against Verlander. He gets a price just because of his name, and it's more with Darvish here. There is no way that Darvish and Padres deserve to be a 180 favorite. Look, I get it. Pittsburgh is pitiful, but San Diego sucks. It's just that simple. This number can't be this high. I get Pittsburgh's been playing 12. They've lost 12 of 13. But again, San Diego just not getting it done. Darvish not getting it done. Darvish not getting it done on the road. I'll take the big number plus 165, a small bet, 1 unit today.
Then another just crazy number on this next game. Brewers at Mets. Teheran versus Peterson. Brewers get the win yesterday. They won all 4 meetings this year, 28-7. Peterson going to be making his first start since May 15th. Excuse me. He gave up 10 runs and 8 1/3 in 2 May starts. He's been getting roughed up in AAA as well. Brewers tagged him for 5 runs earlier this season. He wasn't pitching well. Don't expect much for him coming back. Meanwhile, Teheran's just been lights out through 5 shutout innings his last time out against the D-backs. He had 4 straight quality starts before that. Really been pitching well. Has not allowed more than 2 runs in any of his starts so far. This is Brewers are nobody. I mean, pitching edge, lineup edge. I don't know. I don't understand the price on this game by any means. It's Brewers all the way.
This is only if you're betting. Well, the Mets have to win one sooner or later. That's the only reason you could bet the Mets in this one. The price is ridiculous. I already made a 2-unit bet on this, and I'm considering pressing it. As Ben said, Teheran's been pitching great since he's come back. He's getting banged up. they sent him down after his 2 May starts. 4.50 ERA with a 150 whip in 6 AAA starts. I expect more of the same. Team's batting .329 against Peterson this year, and Milwaukee cracked them earlier in the year. So although Milwaukee doesn't hit lefties, this guy's garbage on the Brewers.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. Aaron's been like this year's Johnny Cueto almost, just as far as what they've been able to get out of him so far.
Good for now. Yep.
And then we have Phillies at Cubbies. Keep in mind, Cubs coming back from London. Still playing good ball, though. They've won 9 of 11. They split the 2 games with the Cards in London. Phillies, they're coming off a nice come from behind win against the Mets. They won 2 of 3 in that series. They're 8-3 their last 11. Suarez versus Tejon. Suarez has just been great. 5 straight quality starts. 3 of the last 3 against the best teams in the NL. I mean, you did it against Atlanta, the Dodgers, and the D-backs. So he's getting it done there. Did get roughed up by the Cubs earlier this year, but that was when he was still kind of coming back from the injury. It was just his second start back. And then Tejon, he gave up 4 runs his last time out. Prior to that, he had a quality start versus a struggling Pirates team, and he was lit up by the Phillies for 8 runs this year. So pitching edge has to go to Suarez in this spot. Team edge, a little bit to the Phillies. Just a tough spot for coming back from London. Just a unique situation. Don't want to be back in that with the Cubs. To me, this game's Philly or nothing. The way Suarez has been going, he's even better on the road. If he's in lighting up the best teams in the NL, add a hot Cubs team in the mix as well.
Yeah, definitely give a big pitching advantage to Suarez. And yep, Cubbies coming back from London, always going to be a detriment there. Just 1 day off. But Cubs coming back red hot also. They're actually a little hotter than Philly. Philly just 2-3 on that homestand. Lose a couple of games to Atlanta before they take 2 of 3 from the struggling Mets. And I mean struggling Mets. So, yeah, I just make this game right there. Don't see, even with Cubs coming back from London, even with Suarez with the big edge, if those weren't the factors, to me, it's like a pick'em game. So seeing Philly at about a 120 or so favorite is right where I think it should be.
Then Dodgers at Rockies, massive price in this game. Kershaw versus Seabold. Dodgers coming off the Sunday night loss against Houston, snapped their little 4-game win streak, but they're still just hitting 199 this week. They're a 500 road team. Colorado, they're coming off winning 2 of 3 against the Angels after their 8-game losing streak. We'll see if they're starting to turn it around. They're 2 games below 500 at home, 18-20. Kershaw versus Seabold. Kershaw's been great. 4 straight quality starts, 4 runs in 27 innings. Just a bad history at Coors Field. Last 3 starts there. 0-3, 9+ ERA, 17 runs in 15 innings. Just struggles there at Coors Field. Then you have Seabold, who is lit up by that hot Braves team, gave up 9 runs, 4 homers there. Prior to that, he had a pair of quality starts. He did get roughed up a little bit by the Dodgers back in April. This game's Rockies all the way. I mean, this is a massive price. Keep in mind, last year, 111-win Dodgers. They still split 10 meetings in Colorado, and this is a little bit worse of a Dodgers team than that. So that home field advantage in this matchup definitely plays. Kershaw does not play well in this matchup, and Kershaw has a little bit of road struggles this year. Last 3 have been pretty good road starts, so I'm not going to look too much into that, but put it in Coors Field against a team who's seen a lot over the last 15 years. Got to be Rockies or no one.
Yeah, as we said, Kershaw's last 3 trips to Coors Field, twice last year and 1 in 2021, absolutely drilled, giving more than a run per game. Dodgers, 500 team on the road this year, guys. Again, don't look at the names. Look at the stats. Don't look at Verlander yesterday. Look what his stats were. Don't look at Darvish's name. Look at his stats. Same thing with the Dodgers and Kershaw today. Now, Kershaw's stats, his last 4 games, look great. And he, huge, tremendous, one of your biggest pitching advantages you're going to get over Seabold. But everything gets a little shortened at Coors Field. Coors Field evens things out, and you can see the troubles that Kershaw's had there, and Ben laid it out perfectly. 111-win Dodger team still split the games at Colorado with the Rockies. Should the Dodgers be a 2-1 favorite? Absolutely, but not a 280 favorite. We took 250 on this game. It's a no-brainer. If they lose, I don't have a problem with it. It's the wrong price.
Yeah, and Rockies due for some positive regression. Talked a little bit about that yesterday with the Reds after the big win streak due to lose some. Rockies 2 games below 500. They've won 2 of their last 3. They're due to heat up a little bit. They have had a lot of injury issues. We'll see if everyone else comes up, gets adjusted. Then it's Detroit at Texas, one of the winners yesterday, and that 7-2 win there for the Tigers. They've now won 3 of the last 4 meetings at Texas. It's going to be Manning versus Perez. Perez really good at home. 3 of his last 4 starts are quality starts at home this year. 3-1, 1.71 ERA. And Manning making his first start since April. So don't like that first start guy coming back. We'll see how it goes. Tigers, like John said at the start, Boyd had that injury yesterday, so the bullpen picked up a lot. Detroit playing well right now, 7-4 in their last 11, scoring 4.6 runs per game. Texas, they've now lost 3 straight. They scored just 5 runs. Their bats are ice cold. They're 3-6. Their last 9 home games, even with the pitching edge, everything else, I'm still looking at Detroit or nothing in this game. I mean, Texas is really not hitting these last few games. Would be tough. I mean, if you're not getting to a Tigers bullpen, that's a little bit concerning. So to me, even as bad as the pitching edge is, everything else, this game's still Detroit or nobody.
Shops are all over the Tigers in this one. This game opened 210, and right now it's down to 185. I see why they're taking it. We took the Tigers yesterday. The only reason I couldn't, as Ben said, Boyd only gets 2 outs yesterday in the first inning. Then Will Vest comes in, and the reliever, he leaves after an inning. On top of that, the bullpen had to work 8 1/3 innings yesterday. They had to work 5 innings the day before. So that's 13 1/3 innings over the last couple of days. Manning will be on a pitch count, his first time back since April. A lot of bullpen. Texas still, they had a little slump. It's going through a little batting slump right now. But even with that, still the highest scoring team with the best batting average. This is a day that's I'm almost looking for a angel-like outburst where the Angels were just held down and all of a sudden busted loose. And this just kind of seems the game. Tiger team coming off the win yesterday. They put it on them a little bit. They're going to have a pitcher just coming back, a weakened bullpen. This just could be a beatdown. Look, it's Tigers or nobody. That's just the reason I didn't bet the Tigers. Shops are all over it. I understand why. I just think the pitching is a problem. And as Ben said, Perez has just been lights out at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been really good at home. We'll see if that can continue. Tigers heating up a little bit. A couple of other AL Central teams. Guardians at Kansas City. Guardians are coming off a loss against Milwaukee. They went 4-2 on the homestand. Meanwhile, KC coming off a split against Tampa Bay. They're 3-3. Their last 6, been playing a bit better ball lately. Still just 10-28 at home. Williams, he's top prospect. Comes his first start. And it goes against Oakland and gave up, 4 runs in 5 2/3. So not ideal there when your top prospect comes up, goes against the worst team in baseball, gets lit up a little bit. Singer, they lost 5 of his last 6 starts. The last one, he gave up 5 runs in 7 innings against Detroit. So pitching guy still has to go to Singer, proven big league arm. We'll see if Williams, you can't ask for a better first 2 career starts against A's and Kansas City. So we'll see if he can figure it out here against KC. Really, the whole reason, KC's playing better ball right now, but you just have to look at the standings in this one. Cleveland, 1.5 games back of Minnesota. Minnesota's playing the hottest team in baseball in the Braves. And then you have Guardians getting beat up on the division worst Kansas City Royals. So Guardians need to take care of business in this series. We'll see if the bats bring it. I'm not jumping out of my seat to lay this price, though, Williams.
Yeah, no, it's a game that they have to have, absolutely. And you hit all the right points, Ben. Williams, the number 4 prospect in all of baseball, has got to show more than what he showed against Oakland, one of the worst teams. Or actually, I'm going to now switch it back. We were calling Oakland the worst team. They went on their little run while KC was ice cold. Things evened out now. You got Tampa, KC giving Tampa Bay problems, splitting a 4-game series with them, and Oakland just ice cold again. So let's call the A's the worst team. We'll call KC this 29th worst team in baseball. With that being said, Singer's just had a real rough time also against the Guardians. 6.65 ERA last year, and a team they batted 322 off of them. I'm actually Cleveland or nobody, but need this game to go a little lower. Just wasn't impressed by the rookies outing against Oakland. Maybe he settles down this one again with another weak hitting team. These are the 27th and 28th. Cleveland 27th and Royals 28th teams in scoring. Neither one puts up a little bit, and you know the stat. Cleveland, the least amount of homers in Major League Baseball. We'll see how it goes. But if I was going to bet this game, I'm only betting Cleveland, and I'm only betting it if the price goes under 130.
Then it's White Sox at Angels. Fun game last night, 1-1 in the ninth. Trout scores on a wild pitch. Tough way to lose it if you're the White Sox. Angels now, they've won 5 of the last 7 meetings, 3 of 4 this year. Chicago's dropped 3 of 5, scoring under 3 runs a game. And Angels, they're really not hitting much. They've lost 4 of 6, scoring 1.8 runs per game in 5 of those games. And then obviously they had the 25-run explosion against Colorado. Kopech versus Ohtani. Ohtani coming off a great start against the Dodgers. Last 2 were quality starts. He had 12 Ks, 2 walks against LA. Did throw 5.2 shutout innings against the White Sox last year. He's better at home. Kopech, last 3 starts, been a little bit worse. Gave up 4 runs in 13 1/3, 15 Ks, 10 walks. Starting to lose that command. He had a nice little dominant stretch middle of May. With that, I mean, his K-walk ratio is really impressive. That's kind of fallen off a cliff. He did give up 4 runs against the Angels earlier this year. So Angels, I'm low on them. If you guys tuned in yesterday, you guys heard me say going to be a little bit downward trending perhaps. Could be value against them. Just scored 2 runs yesterday. Scored on a wild pitch to win it. White Sox were in that. Yes, Ohtani gets a clear as day pitching advantage here in this matchup, but would still be a little bit lean here to the White Sox. See if Kopech can have anything to get bounced back here against the Halos.
Yep, it's definitely a lean to the White Sox and the Sharps. They bet the White Sox again in this one. They bet them yesterday. They're betting them again today. Tough spot for Ohtani. Masterful game, but still takes the L against the Dodgers his last time out, and I just think there might be a little letdown from that one. The other side, do I want to get on Kopech? The White Sox, almost like the Mets, just doing things to lose games, and they did it again last night. On the wild pitch. Kopech was pitching real good baseball. All of a sudden, White Sox have lost his last 3 starts. He hasn't gone past 5 innings in any of those 3 starts, as Ben said, to control 15 K to 10 walk ratio, and that's not going to get it done. So the price from what the opener was, it was White Sox and nobody. Now I think it's right on the number. I didn't get involved in the game because of the last few outings of Kopech. And look, White Sox, as bad as the Angels are hitting, White Sox hitting .218 and scoring 2.8 runs per game, and that's not stand well against Ohtani either. I'll just lay off this one.
Then Yankees on to Oakland. They've won 8 of the last 10 meetings. Yankees, they went 4-2 on that homestand, all pitching right now, scoring just 2.83 runs per game. A's, they got killed at Toronto on Sunday. They're now 1-11, 1-10 their last 11, so they're not playing good ball. Brito versus Blackburn. Brito was pitching earlier this year, spent some time in AAA, came back up through 5.2 shutout innings against Seattle. Faced the A's back in May, allowed 2 runs and 4 1/3. Blackburn, last 2 starts, 7 runs, 6 earned, and 10 2/3. Going to be interesting to kind of see how his home away splits kind of develop. Only a few starts back so far. Last year was really bad at home, had an 8+ ERA. So far this year, I mean, against Rays and Atlanta, the best AL team, NL team, he was decent in those 2 home starts, but only went 9 innings in those 2. This is Yankees or nobody. Sharps bringing this number down. Don't get it. Don't want to be back in this 1-10 Oakland team to the last 11. I understand Yankees aren't hitting. Brito is going to be the back end arm in that rotation. Nonetheless, if you're the Yankees and you aren't hitting right now, you need to be able to take care of business against the worst team in baseball. They won 2 of 3 against Seattle. They won 2 of 3 against Texas. Now it's time to do so against the worst team in that AL West division.
Yeah, Yankees, we're going to continue to talk about it without Judge. And forget the Yankees, what their record says they are now, what their batting average is now. Here's what they are without Judge in the lineup. 13-16 with a .208 team batting average. Oakland, I just want you to compare it. Oakland is worse, has last in Major League with a .220 team batting average. So look how much worse the Yankees are without Judge. All that being said, Oakland back to being the worst team in baseball, the worst record, the worst home record, last in hitting, last in scoring, and just a terrible team. As good as Blackburn could be for that staff. Let's call him and Sears the best pitchers on that staff. Still can't make the numbers too short. To me, it's Yankees and nobody. Not looking to back an Oakland team that you don't know really who wants to show up on any given day, especially when they're home and playing in front of 500 fans. So, yeah, it's Yankees and nobody for me.
Then Reds at Orioles. O's crushed them yesterday 10-3. Cincy now, a little bit of woes. They've lost 3 straight, scoring 5 runs per game since the big 12-game win streak. Baltimore, they've won 3 straight, 8-2 the last 10 home games. Great pitching matchup in this one. Abbott versus Wells. Abbott finally gave up some runs his last time out. Still quality start, 3 runs, all 3 though off home runs in 6 innings, 10 Ks, no walks against Colorado. And then Wells, he gave up 4 runs off 2 homers last time out against Tampa Bay. He's been great at home this year, 4-2, 2.52 ERA. Since he just got a little bit of a falling knife, almost starting to seem like feel like they're a little bit, or not even a little bit, going to be some solid regression from the win streak. They're due for a little bit of losses, cooled off a little bit. Baltimore playing good baseball, especially at home right now. Value's definitely there with Cincy and Abbott. I mean, Abbott's been terrific in his first 4 career starts. We'll see if now Baltimore gets to him at all. This game to me is still Cincy or nothing. Just don't want to keep on backing this Reds team, seeing that red hot 12-game win streak team is a little bit of a different team right now. Yeah, they certainly are. 3 straight losses, but that's not going to make me jump off them. Abbott's still pitching good, not as good. Look, we said it the day against Colorado. He's going to get scored on. He won his first 3 starts without getting scored on. Obviously, he's going to get scored on at some point. Wells, as Ben said, really good at home with a 2.52 ERA. Look, Baltimore yesterday just didn't get the respect as they haven't been getting most of the year. That's why we're on Baltimore so much. They're just not believers in Baltimore. This number should now it's gotten to the point where it's a little too high. And after the Reds being the darlings of everybody these last couple of weeks over that 12-game winning streak, so now the number's back. It's gone actually up. The line opened 130. Right now you're looking at 145 with the number that high. Even though the Reds, look, there's always going to be a tail off after that immense high that they were on. Even with that, with the way Abbott's been pitching, this game right now, where the price is, it's only Cincy or nobody, especially if this line goes any higher. The Giants off to Toronto. Giants coming off a loss against the D-backs. They won 2 of 3 in that series and are 10-2 their last 12. Toronto, they're coming off winning against Oakland, crushed them. They've now won 4 or 5. Bullpen day for the Giants. Walker on the mound there, and it's Gausman for Toronto. They've won his last 6 starts, last 2 quality starts against the Marlins and Rangers. This is going to be his first start for the Giants since coming to the Jays. He pitched for them in 2021. Usually like that for the team, facing the former pitcher more so. This game to be Giants or nobody. They have a red-hot Giants team, big price here. They play pretty well in these bullpen games, so we'll see if that can go here against Gausman. Obviously, Gausman has the edge over a bullpen game. Just a pretty big price here for considering the Giants are 10-2 their last 12. Pretty impressive 10-2 with some tough opponents in there. D-backs, Dodgers, Padres, a lot of division battles. Maybe a little bit of a letdown after all the division battles there, you could argue. So would be Giants or nothing. Not jumping out of my seat to go against Gausman, though. Yep. We got it on both ends. We went against Gausman his last time out with Miami. There was no Bichette in the lineup. We thought the price was right, and Gausman got us. We went against the Giants with this bullpen game. Look, this will be the 4th game in the last 8 days they're using Walker as an opener. And they were going to go against Kelly, who had been phenomenal, especially on the road. So we went against Walker, and we got burned in that one 7-6 also. Can the Giants win? They've used him 3 times in 8 days. They've won all 3 of those games. Giants are red hot. Toronto playing good ball. But they just beat 2 out of 3 out of Oakland. We're talking about the worst team in Major League Baseball at home. Gausman's got to be a huge pitching advantage over the Giants bullpen, but they've been winning. Number gets higher. Could only be San Fran. This is an overlay. Gausman's pitching really well, so they're going to make you pay for the price, but they're overpricing what him and Toronto should be because you're looking at what they want you to look at. Gausman over a Giants bullpen, but look into the numbers and see Giants have won so far the last 3 games in 8 days using this bullpen setup. So the price, if it's high enough, it's San Fran or nobody. The Marlins on to Boston. Marlins coming off a win against the Pirates. They won 3 of 4 there, 8-3 their last 11. And then you have this Boston team struggling a little bit. They've lost 4 or 5, scoring just 2.4 runs per game. They did go 4-2 in the last homestand. Alcantara versus Whitlock. Alcantara, I mean, my goodness, how far he's fallen off. Last 2 starts, 10 runs, 20 hits, 12 1/3, just becoming a little bit unbackable. Then you have Whitlock. who gave up 4 runs in 7 innings last time out. Prior to that, 2 quality starts. He does have better numbers at home. This Boston team not hitting right now, and I can't believe I say this, but maybe they need to face the reigning Cy Young in order to get their bats going. That's the way it looks like from Alcantara. The Red Sox bats do more damage in Boston. Whitlock been pitching well in Boston. This game to me is slightly near the Red Sox. Now, it's a hot team versus a cold team. I don't like that. Just feel like Alcantara's been getting lit up. Last place you want to go pitch is Fenway.
So 2 things here. You got Red Sox. Hey, they hit 291 at Fenway. So they haven't been hitting, but they've been on the road. So they're coming back home. The other thing is take the way they've been playing and who are they missing? Verdugo in this last stretch. They put him on bereavement Thursday series. He's been out since then. And he was right in the middle of a hot stretch. 12-game hitting streak, 20 for 53, batting over 370. So this little slide has coincided with that. Now they come home. Like I said, they hit 291 at Fenway. You're getting a pitcher that I don't know if he can get me out anymore. You go from a Cy Young to horrible. We bet with him again last time out against Guzman with Bichette out. So a weakened Toronto lineup, and they torched him. No interest in Alcantara in this game. It's Red Sox or nobody. As far as the info I've got right now, Verdugo's going to still miss tonight. We'll have to see where that line goes. If it goes lower, if Verdugo comes back in the lineup, Red Sox or nobody. But you're not interested in the Marlins, although they will also be getting Jazz Chisholm back today. He'll be off the IL. Segura also. So Miami playing good baseball. Just look who they're playing it against. So they had another 2-0 shutout against the hapless Pirates. They won 3 or 4 against them. But they dropped the series before that to Toronto. Red Sox are nobody. That American League East is solid. Let's see. We'll look for the line and the lineups later.
The mini at Atlanta. Atlanta stays hot to get the win yesterday. 4-1 game there. Hey, man, if you're holding the Braves to 4 runs right now, that's a win for Minnesota. The way this offense has been playing lately. It was a pitching matchup of the day I put up yesterday, and I put a pitching matchup of the day with this one as well. Ryan versus Elder. Ryan, 3 of his last 4 starts, quality starts, coming off a complete game shutout against Boston. And Elder, last 2 starts, quality starts, 1 run in 13 innings versus the Phillies in Colorado. A little bit worse at home, but still solid numbers. 2-1, 3.10 ERA. 8 homers he's given up at home. Hasn't given up 1 on the road yet. This game is tough. This number with Ryan, you want to back Minnesota a little bit, but you can't go against this hot Braves team right now. Did it yesterday. It was a lot more on the number. It was worth it. And they were in that game late. Gray kept them in it. Just couldn't keep them down enough. This Braves team playing damn good. What is it? 18-3 last 21. So I said it yesterday. For those of you guys who are just on the Braves bandwagon, betting them every day, who am I to tell you to stop? They keep doing it. So go on ahead.
Absolutely. But this just goes to show you how out of whack yesterday's number is. You had Strider against Gray. Gray, better, we're going to call him, than Ryan. Right there with Ryan. Strider, how much worse? If he's going to be worse than Elder? I mean, how's that price 40 cents higher yesterday? Actually, 50 cents because they got all the money. So we thought it was wrong yesterday. Today, we think it's right. Ryan comes in off of, as Ben said, complete game shutout. Only thing I'm looking at, how does he follow that up? He threw a career high 112 pitches. If you're coming in off any type of letdown, this is the Royal team to be coming off of it. Leads the league in homers, 2nd in batting average, 3rd in runs scored, and right now they are on fire with the offense. Can't back Ryan and the Twins in this one. We backed it yesterday because the number was just too high. This number is a reasonable number right now for the Red Hot Braves. Don't want to get in front of that train.
And it's Astros at Cardinals. To me, this is the hardest game on the card today. So you have Houston coming off tough series of the Dodgers. They lose 2 of 3 there. They're 3-7 their last 10. Cards, they split the pair of games. In London, they've now won 5 of 7, scoring over 5 runs per game. They are 2-6 the last 8 home games. Great pitching matchup. Valdez versus Montgomery. Montgomery's really flipped it back around, looking like the pitcher they got at the deadline last year. 3 straight quality starts, 4 runs in 19 1/3, 19 Ks, 4 walks. He had a quality start for Houston last year. And Valdez, you guys know the story. 12 of his 15 starts are quality starts. Last 2 allowed 3 runs in 15 innings. He's just doing what he does. Now, Astros trending downward, Cardinals trending upward a little bit. I want to be on this St. Louis team. Then again, you have to factor they're coming back from London, so that takes a little bit of a halt. Houston just 3-7 their last 10. They're not doing too much damage right now. Yes, Valdez, Mr. Consistent at a PK, very tempting, but I think there's going to be value in St. Louis moving forward. A lot of time left in this season for them to catch up in that division. They're playing good ball right now. I'm bet on with the Cards. Just don't want to do it this first game back from London. Really tough read on this game.
Yeah, that London deal's always a tricky deal. So we'll see how that goes. But Montgomery, much better his last 3 outings. Valdez just does what he always does. Just pencil him in for a quality start. Got to see how these teams are hitting. Got to give that advantage to St. Louis. Astros still have Jordan Alvarez out. Altuve sat out Sunday night. We're waiting to see if he'll be back in the lineup. That wasn't just a rest day. That was something with his heel. So we'll see if he's back in the lineup. It's a pick'em game right now. That's pretty much what I make it.
Then we have Rays at Arizona, Bradley versus Gallen. Tampa Bay coming off the split with Kansas City. 3-5 their last 8, but bats doing damage, hitting .298 this week. And then you have Arizona. They win on Sunday at San Francisco, but they lost 2 of 3 on the series. They went 4-3 on the trip. Bradley versus Gallen. Gallen at home. We talk about every time he starts at home. 7-0, 1.00 ERA, 67 Ks, 7 walks, lights out stuff. Then you have Bradley, who's coming off of his first career quality start. He's been great on the road this year. 2-1, 2.13 in 5 starts, holding teams to hitting .204. So pitching edge has to go to Gallen, but Bradley's no cakewalk on the road. He's been solid. I thought that Gallen was going to come really overpriced in this game. I was going to be looking at the best team in baseball at a big dog price, but it's just kind of the opposite. It just kind of came short here. They're still respecting Tampa Bay. When you have a pitcher who's this lights out as Gallen is at home, don't overthink it. D-backs are nothing at this cheaper price.
D-backs are nothing. I thought this game should be higher than this, at least 135. Only off about 9 cents. It's sitting at 126 basically at every spot out there, 126, 125. So just not enough. But if it was to go down a little bit, and you can get Gallen, who's just absolutely ridiculous at home with a 1 ERA, it would be worth it. Other than that, again, yes, you're playing the team with the best record. Did that KC series wake them up a little bit? One of the worst teams come into your house and split a 4-game series with you. Tampa Bay not been on fire lately. This is what happens in a 162-game season. You go through the lull of just playing some of these games out. Tampa Bay might be stuck in that. They may rise to the challenge of pitching Gallen against another division winner. But if the line was lower, to me, it's Arizona or nobody.
And then last game on the card, we have Seattle and Washington. Mariners get the win yesterday. They won that one 8-3. They've won 4 of the last 5 meetings now. Nats 2-2 on the trip, 3-8 their last 11. Meanwhile, Seattle, they've won 3 of 5. Irvin versus Wu, pretty gross pitching matchup. Nats have lost 7 straight of Irvin's starts. Last 2, though, he was solid, 2 earned runs in 11 innings. And Wu, they've won his last 3 starts, allowed 4 runs in 15 2/3. He threw 5 1/3 shutout innings at Yankee Stadium last time out. Big number here, big number for the Seattle team. No drastic pitching edge there to Wu. You can argue a little bit if you want to, but really a coin flip on this pitching matchup would be a Washington or nobody here. Big price. Yes, Nats just 3-8 their last 11. Talked about it yesterday, though. When you have Washington at San Diego, they can't be that big of a favorite over a below 500 team. Same thing here. Mariners can't be this big of a favorite for a below 500 team, especially with no drastic pitching edge today.
Yeah, don't look at the names, guys. Look at the stats. I'll give Wu the pitching advantage. He's looked a little better in his last few starts, especially that last game. He threw 5 1/3 shutout innings at the Yankees. Granted, that's no Judge, and we just told you what the anemic Yankees are doing without Judge in the lineup. But look at these numbers. So Washington hitting .263 this week, hitting .262 for the year. Tells you right where they're going to, right what you could expect for them to hit. Mariners hitting .228 this week, .230 for the year. Nationals have a better hitting team than the Mariners. I mean, that there's just no way to say different in those stats. Nationals are a better road team. You guys, well, I guess you don't know because we don't do the podcast on a weekend, but we had Nationals both Saturday and Sunday against San Diego. They were overpriced against the Nationals there, and Seattle's overpriced again tonight. Give Wu a little bit of a pitching edge, but that's about it. This game does not belong to be 220. I'm going to be on the short. We're waiting to see because the price has only gone up. The overnight was 210, and right now I'm actually seeing as high as 230 at Sports 411. So it's just a matter of what time we'll pounce, but we'll be on the Nationals for a 1-unit bet today.
Yeah, you guys noticed the trend a little bit. Some of these teams, Padres, Mets, Seattle, just teams who have been underperforming this year and quite frankly, just overpriced time in, time out. So a lot of value going against those teams lately. We'll see if that continues here for us today.
If you excuse me 1 second, but these are teams that they just expect to win. They take your throw out Kansas City and Oakland. Those two teams are your I don't want to say least profitable. You lose the most by betting them. If you would have bet 100 every day, you would obviously lose the most on Kansas City and Oakland. Your next two teams in there are Cardinals and Mets. And then you're going to find your Seattles and Padres right there. And that's what they're disappointing, but they're feeling they still have their rating where they're going to get that money back. They're going to almost thinking, like I said, like a sucker, like they're due to win. They're due to win more games. Doesn't mean they're going to have to start tonight. This price is ridiculous. Price on the Padres is ridiculous. Price on the Dodgers is insane. There's no way a guy can get lit up three starts in a row at a field and then be a 300 favorite. So we'll just keep doing what we do, and that's take the value. I see value with the Nats today.
A lot of value on the card, guys, for the last 5 days, winning days, 3 straight. You guys heard me say it on Friday and yesterday as well. This is when things have heated up the last couple of years. So looking like we're on track to do that. Hopefully it stays heating up here. If you guys haven't yet, go to How to Beat the Bookie website, howtobeatthebookie.com, or download the app. You guys can get the best sports betting information there. Get access to all of John's bets and his ratings. John, staying hot right now. Let's keep it rolling this week.
Yeah, let's keep it going. A lot of baseball to get to. It's all night games tonight, guys. So hopefully when Ben gets this posted, you'll check us out. And let's make some money.
Let's make some money.